Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 17 here on Stappenbach in Germany. Now, we've got a great big pile of grass lying down through the middle of our shed that we need to do something with. We cannot just have this lying around. Straw is doing just fine. We've got one bale left in here, and I don't think it kind of uses up as you're actually playing the game, but I think when you log out and then you log back in again, if there's space, it will automatically drop a bale in. So straw at the moment is on 9,010, which is well above what it can actually take. Grass, we're about halfway, so we could do getting a bit more, and then water as well. But for water, apparently all you've got to do is you just go up here every couple of days, go to the trough up here, and just turn the tap on. So all you have to do is turn the tap on like that, and then it fills the water back up, and that's it. See, now we've got 2 days worth, and it fills back up through. It's absolutely wonderful. I genuinely love this. So, as you may have guessed, we've gone past our 4-week point as of now. So we are now in our new 4-week stint, and we are here staying on Stappenbach. So we're here for another 4 weeks. We've done whole crop silage here in this field. We've got corn over there, well, wheat over there. And that is ripening in the breeze, but it's not ripe yet. So we've got to wait for that one. We do have some silage down there. See, look at this. This is now on 3 days. Right there, 100%. Excellent, wonderful, amazing. We've now got our silage in our clamp, and that is waiting to turn. Unfortunately, you've got to wait for a third of a season before it's ready. So we don't have anything here ready yet. If I... Oh, no, I don't want to... I'll press F1 like that. Fermenting silage 1%. So it takes about the same amount of time to ferment this as it does bales of silage. I believe. Now, don't quote me on that. I could be slightly wrong. We will go and have a look at our bales of silage over there. Again, I'm not quite sure. I think the only way to find out for sure if they're bales of silage or still bales of grass is go and stab them with a spike and pick them up, and that would give us an indication. Now, straw here, we've got 4 bales. That should be enough to keep us going until we have our harvest up there. One thing I haven't done yet is put some hay in for the cows. I completely forgot about it. Fast-forwarded time. No, did I fast-forward time? I think I did. I fast-forwarded time by a day, and we started on silage, and I completely forgot to put stuff in for the cows. So we haven't done that yet. That is something that we need to do. So we've got a loader here. This is over at the beef farm, and we're going to want to take this one all the way back. Now, where did I leave? Did I take the straw away from here or not? Don't think I did. I think I put it all into there. So we're going to take this one here, this little old JCB, and we're going to take this back to our main farm, and we're going to use it. Because I don't want to keep using all of our money to keep flitting through loads of new machinery all the time. It's nice getting some of these machines on trial and trying them out, but we don't want to be doing that all the time. So we will be using some of our older machinery. This one in particular is an older machine. Now, if you were using it traveling along a road like this, you'd need to have some kind of guard over the spikes on the front. Legally, you would be required to. The other option you can have is you can put it like that if you want to and have it low down. And again, it's not great having it like this because you can't see a mirror. So you'd want to bring it up a bit. Well, that's putting it... the front of it level with other traffic, which again is quite dangerous. You know, that's the front of that one is level with the bonnet. So you either need to have it down like that, put it on a trailer and carry it, or you need to have it up in the air. Now, some people will travel along with it up in the air like that, and some people will travel along with it up in the air like that. And really, there's no... Now, I've had this discussion many times with people who watch this channel, and it's really interesting sort of getting different people's views on it. And there's no hard and fast rule for most of the world about how you should carry these. Some places you do, it's strongly recommended you take the thing off and you put it on a trailer, and you don't have any implement on the front at all. But that seems to be the exception rather than the rule. The rule is... you need to make it safe for the road. That's it. That is what you've got to go by. Make it safe for the road. So you don't have any specific rule of how you should do that. There's no specific guidelines of what you should do. just make it safe for the road. That's what you need to do, is make it safe for the road, and then you can use it. Now, one other thing that I would like to do today, as well as feeding the cattle, is I want to go in here. I want to have a look at the Compost Master, the Omnivore. I love the fact that it's called the Omnivore. Invest 145,000 euros and get Compost Works, which promise you big profit over the time. The compost machine, which is powered by fuel, produces automatically compost out of different raw materials. This compost can be sold at the nursery, or you can use it as manure on the fields, which is really good. That's actually why I want it. So 145 to buy this one, so let's just click in there, go 145000 like that, and pay. We now own the Compost Master, so let's bring up F1 there so that we can see what we're doing, and have a little look around and see what it is that we need to do. Now, out this end is, I'm guessing you put a trailer or some kind of item, it would sit on here. That seems to be a big oven in there, organic waste crusher. It would crush it and sort of bake it in there to remove all of the germs, and then you feed it in this end. You dump the stuff in here. That's absolutely great. It's wonderful. And here we go. Right. So I don't actually need the F1 screen. Fuel is 30,000 litres. Waste is 50,000 litres. And then compost is 100,000. So what is waste? What could we put in here? I think we could go and get grass, and we could tip that in here. We could get some silage. We could tip that in here. Straw, we could tip that in. And I think you can literally put anything you want. So, but what about fuel? Where do we put the fuel? The only thing is, what do we use as fuel for this bad boy? And where do we put the fuel? I think the fuel is actually got to be fuel. I don't think you can use like straw or wood chips or anything like you can with the sawmill. I think you have actually got to bring fuel in to run it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what we'll try bringing in some fuel. There is a fuel trailer that we can go and get, and we'll try bringing in some fuel for it. And then we need to put something in there to start making compost. Now, I don't really want to sacrifice bales of hay, because it's a lot of work to make bales of hay. It's actually a lot easier just to get some grass and dump that in there. Although we do have to go and actually do the mowing of the grass before we get the grass. And then we've got to do the collecting of the grass. Whereas the hay, we've already got all that already in bale form. So for the purposes of this video, I guess it'd be alright to use some hay. I know I said that I absolutely didn't want to. I'm a fickle individual at times, and yeah, just because I said I didn't want to doesn't mean I'm not going to. As many of you probably already know this. There is that bale on the floor. It went through the ground, and it's still there. I can see it. I can see the bale on the floor down there. Now, there is ways that we can pick that up. We can bring in an auto-load trailer and auto-load it up off the floor. We can... There are other ways as well, and we might investigate some of them. I'm going to take 5 bales of hay here. Like this. Look at me go! Except that, when you pick bales up in this game, they have a tendency to slide off your forks, and it's most frustrating at times. They also have a tendency to just dance around themselves a bit as well, because they don't like being picked up and moved like this. So the bales all tend to slide around, slide off the fork, slide forward, slide backward, slide everywhere. So really, I think it's nothing short of a minor miracle that you can actually get bales anywhere if you're carrying more than one at a time. So I always feel an immense sense of personal accomplishment every time that I do it. So let's bring that back round. 5 bales all at once. End on as well. End on. Picking bales up end on is never easy. Okay, we'll do it like that, and I will just extend the boom out a little bit and poke that in there. Right. That's that first job done. Next, well, actually, let's just have a look in here and see. Seriously? We're going to need an awful lot to go in here. I want the silage. If I could get the silage in here, it would be a lot easier. Then we could just start filling up the power food. We don't have enough straw for proper power food. Not for proper power food. A 20,000 is hardly done anything. We're definitely going to need... We're not going to mess around with the small stuff. Not when it comes to power food, we're not messing around with the small stuff. I think we're going to go slightly bigger. I might... Ooh. Ooh, now I'm torn because no, I don't want to go there. If you have a look in here, we've got the different feeders, if I can find them. Animals, there we go. This one here is absolutely wonderful, but it's only got a 13,000 litre capacity. I really hate that this one takes more than this one, right? I really don't like that at all. And I also really don't like that the only self-loading one from the silage pit is this small. That's it. We don't have an upgrade on it. I can go and get this pecan, though. 64,000 litres, but we do have to spoon everything in there manually, which does take a little bit longer. But that might actually be the answer for this. We might just have to dump a load of stuff in there. 64,000, you put in 4 bales of straw, 4 bales of hay, and fill the rest up with silage, and then you've got a full load. And it works out really well. Working that in 4s, it does do really well. Now, well, that wasn't quite part of the master plan. I'm thinking that perhaps we shouldn't park this way round. Maybe we ought to park another way round, and then it's not going to be an issue. There we go. We'll do that. There we go. Now I can get out. Perfect. I've got a big forage wagon over here, and I got a baler there. Mowers. We don't have mowers, do we? I didn't use butterfly mowers on this one here. And this one doesn't have the ability to turn the cab round either, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have liked it to have had the ability to do that. I'm just wondering if I should go and get a mower and put it onto there. Because there is an option that we can use to do this that might actually work. Let's have a look here a minute. Got an idea that might be quicker than lugging bales over to that compost master. We go over to... I was actually thinking I want to go to the quickest route to get to field 77, but the quickest route is actually literally just going to be to run myself. I'm going to have to just pump these crazy little legs all the way up there so that we can have a look and see if there's any grass at all, or if it's not grown yet. There is a small amount of grass in here. We still have the bales of silage up here, which we could do with collecting at some point fairly soon. But what I'm going to do, I've got an idea. We have used it already, and I know that it is, you know, a few people did point out last time, it does seem to be a bit overused. Everybody seems to go for it rather than going for some of these others. But the fact of the matter is, it's a lot faster using this than it is using anything else. So if I just go for that one, and I buy it, we'll return it back. I'm not going to spend very long using this. I just want to get some grass quickly with the, for the compost master, and I think this is going to be the quickest way that we can do it, rather than messing around with anything else. So we run up through here. You can leave it so that it leaves the row on the ground, which is nice and quick. We'll come up through here, and we will get that forage wagon at the same time. Have the two of them running together. I need to come racing up through here and grab hold of that forage wagon there. Back up here. Go on. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up a little bit more and hitch that one on. And this is going to be rather awkward because of the way that everything sticks out behind it, but it should still work. It's not really meant to fit together like this. You can see that by the way that the mowers are clipping into the actual forage wagon. So this isn't good. All we're doing is just a speedy way of getting stuff out here as quickly as possible. So if I just unfold this one a minute, and I go to there and turn that one on like that, and then I'll go back to you and turn that one on as well, like that, and then we can start heading up across here. And okay, the grass hasn't grown. This is awkward. I honestly thought the grass had grown. I thought that we were going to have just a quick run through here, a quick romp through the countryside without any issues, and we would get a bit of grass just loaded up on. So if I run down the side of the field, it's not really going to help either. It's not doing anything. I wondered if maybe there'd be like a little bit left over on the sides, but no, there is absolutely nothing. We're not getting anything at all. I really did a very good job of mowing when I came through here and I mowed last time, unless it's just not working. It seems to be working. You don't own this field. Well, that's just great. Right, there is another field that I own, so I'm going to fold that one up. like that. And then I'm going to close that one down. And we need to go over to field 39. We're not going to worry about getting that for fresh grass over to there. I need to get into field 39. And now, can I get across there so that I can get into field 36? I don't know if I can get across that bridge. I don't think we can get across this bridge over here. Ah! Signs have got collision on them. I forgot about that. I honestly didn't realise they had collision on them, to be honest. I know what I can do. I can start unfolding it. There. If I start unfolding it like that, and then bring it down this way a bit, and return, and then return again, and then we can go, and we've just missed it. Right. It appears that this is not going to be the quick, easy route that I was hoping for, and we're not going to be able to fit across that bridge either. Nope. That's definitely not happening, I can tell you that right now. Okay, so this whole idea was a bit of a bust. It's not actually happening. We're not able to do it. I was thinking it'd be a quick, easy run. We grab a bit of grass, and then job done. But it's not letting us. It doesn't like this idea at all. So we are going to have to move bales, but I don't really want to move bales with that little JCB, because I think it's just going to take too long. So we're going to want to do it with something else. Considering that I've got the Forage Wagon here, I may as well just sell it back. We get the money back, and we can also get the money back for this mower as well, because we don't want that one. So we'll bring all of this back to the dealership, get rid of these, and then we'll also sell the little JCB, and we'll get a slightly bigger JCB. And we can, I'll tell you what, we can also have a look at one of the other items from the straw add-on that I don't think I've used in any series anywhere, any episode, except for one. I've used it in one episode of my time-lapse. So let's just bring that one over to there and sell 289,000, get all our money back for that one, and then the next one here, sell that one for another 60,000. So we're up to 700,000 euros. And oh, yeah, it was also, I want to go to the garage, and right, I've got pallet forks kicking around everywhere. The bale fork, these pallet forks, I could actually sell these. I don't think we're going to use them. So sell all of these, that's 500. I must have used one of them. Sell that one, and sell... Yes, sell that bale fork as well. I don't want to keep that one. And then also sell that JCB for 47,000. We're keeping the fast track. That one's going to stay. And the rest of this stuff is going to stay as well for now. We're not going to get rid of any more of it. So let's go back to our shop. And then we want to go to wheel loaders. By far my favorite vehicle for doing any loader work has got to be the JCB 435S. And don't think we've got room, really, to put the double wheels on, unfortunately. So 182,000 for you. Come out of there, and is it in here? It's not in here. It's in the bale equipment in here, baling technology. Scroll up through. Now, that one there is a bit too big. It takes 5 bales at once. This one here takes 3 bales, and it does actually fit in different places. We can have front loader, telly loader, or wheel loader for that one. You can choose any of the ones that you want. This other one over here, this one can only go on a wheel loader. It doesn't fit on anything else. And then you've got the vertical one here. This you can... I haven't actually tried that one. It does take a few bales. So I think you probably securely fasten on 3 or 4 bales in a stack. And again, very handy. But quite frankly, this one here has proved to be quite useful. Now, it's not going to be the bestest one to be using for what I want to do, but it's still going to be pretty good. It's also going to be handy for loading up bales into the Pecan Mega Mixer when we want to get that one. But we've got to wait until we got silage before we can do anything with that one, so we're going to have to wait a little bit. We can go up here. You can pick up 3 bales at once with this one. Now, you use Y and you use Z. Use Y to put the spikes down, and then Z to lift the spikes up. And that engages them. But what I can do is I know that I've got these bales here stuck on the floor, so I could bring that one down like that, there, and then press Y, like that. And nope, that's not having it at all. It doesn't like it. So Z to let it go. We're going to have to use the auto-load trailer to lift that one out of the ground. But what you can do is you bring this up here like this, and I put that one on there, and then I press Y, and you look, there's one lot of spikes is still up. It hasn't actually put those down because it didn't have a bale next to it. So what I can do, if I zoom in a little bit, that's as much as I can zoom in, what I can do is I can actually put that one up next to it there, and without letting it go, I just press Y again, and it lowers down the next one. It does it automatically. It detects the bale and then will automatically lift them up. And I absolutely love that little aspect of it. I used to use a machine like this, a grab like this, for gathering bales. One of the places that I worked, this is what we did. And you had 3 sections and you could pick up 3 lots of bales. And we used to do exactly the same thing. You used to pick up the 3, you had 3 bales. You go in, you pick up 1 bale, you just press the first button, and then the second button, and then the third button, and it worked really well. It was really easy, really simple, and then you had a top. Oh, no, I don't want to go there. Where's the compost master? Now you had like a main override button for the whole thing. It's right behind me. Let's try going in here then, shall we? Open that one, and just back in here. It's fuel that we still want to get. That's the other thing that we're going to be getting. So at the moment the cows are on 73% health. We could probably do with cleaning them a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. We bring this up here like this, and then I press Z and let them go. We've now got a little bit in there. There's going to be 12,000 in there, isn't it? Yeah, 12,000 litres in there, 24% full. We still need some fuel. We're going to go and get another load of bales a minute, so we can take that up a little bit higher. And then we'll see about getting some fuel in there. I love the idea of having this compost master here. It's a very cool machine. I am wondering, the money that we've got at the moment, I'm thinking that maybe Agco should chuck a little bit more money at this farm, because this farm has got so much potential for making vast sums of money for both the farmer himself and also Agco as well, you know, by association. And so I think that Agco would actually consider it worth adding more money into the kitty. And, you know, whether they would or not, I'm not really sure. The only downside with this one is that if you press Y, it does default and automatically put down the middle spike. Right? You got no choice but to put down the middle spike. So if you bring that up there, and then I press Y again, I can't actually do anymore. Pressing Y now, it's not working at all. I'd have to press Z and bring that down. Except that's Y, because I didn't quite lower it properly, I think. But yeah, if I press there, it will do the 2. So it's not perfect the way that it works, because the middle row of spikes will automatically drop regardless of whether there's a bale there or not when you press Y. The outside 2, they've got the bale detection bit added to them, which does make a difference. And what I've got on my steering wheel, I ask this all the time, what steering wheel and what joystick. I do tell you from time to time, the joystick is a Logitech Attack 3. It cost me £5 second-hand off of eBay. Literally, for a game like this, you do not need to spend money on a joystick, right? You absolutely don't. You don't need a load of buttons on it. Mine's got a few buttons on it. I've only got a couple of them mapped. I don't even have an open and close button mapped on here. I keep those on the steering wheel. So the joystick is literally up, down, and then... Oh no, there is an open and close, but it's a different open and close. It's the one that the mouse would use. So I press the buttons that I normally use for opening and closing things. It doesn't actually work for the grabs from this straw add-on because they've got different controls on them. So I bring it up here and I use my normal one. It's not done on hydraulic controls. So I can lift this one up. This is a joystick now, just joystick. Up and down like that, and crowd backwards and forwards like that. And then I've got a button for extending the boom and dragging it back in. And then I've got 2 other buttons for the hydraulics for the muck grab, opening and closing them. Right, that's all I've got mapped to the joystick, and that was £5. So, hang on. The only problem with my joystick is that some reason it's accidentally, you know when you press G to change the controls around? for some reason my joystick has picked up that map as well, and I haven't been able to remove it, and I don't really know why. But it's a very, very minor inconvenience, and it's only for when you're extending the boom on a telehandler. So I'm not really sure why I had that little crossover, but quite frankly, it's such a minor inconvenience, it doesn't really matter, because you can just tap the button again when you're using an extendable boom, and it puts it back right, and then it's no longer an issue. So, yeah, it's never been a problem for me. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab that bale there and pick that one up. So, my steering wheel is a Logitech Driving Force GT. And with the Driving Force GT, I've got a number of different buttons that I've got mapped. And some of them I use quite a lot, and some of them I don't use very much. So there's a D-pad on one side, and I use that one for cycling between machinery like this. I can go either direction for cycling between machinery, like that. It makes it very, very easy for me to cycle between the, all the machinery, because I got it straight on my steering wheel rather than having to reach over for my keyboard. My keyboard's right in front of, it was just slightly to the side of my steering wheel. I will one day show you. You will see my setup here for the steering wheel. I disconnect the steering wheel and I put it to one side when I'm not playing Farming Simulator. All the other games I play, I don't use the steering wheel, so it all gets moved to one side, and I don't actually use it. My computer desk is an absolute tip. It's a bomb site. It's not... I've seen people do these videos where they show their way around their computer desk, and it's immaculate. Everything is shiny. There is not one speck of dust. And I look at this for the video that they've done to show their setup. I look at it and I say, rubbish. Calling BS on this. I am calling you out. Because, well, okay, I was going to say nobody, but obviously some people. But seriously, you spend that much time cleaning and polishing and keeping your desk tidy and immaculate and perfectly clean at all times, rather than playing the games? I clean my desk maybe once a year. I think my wife cleans my desk more than I do. Leia will come along and she will, like, hoover up some of the worst of the dust every now and then, and encourage me to throw away some of the rubbish that's accumulated. And mostly it's just, like, piles of post-it notes and other things that I think might be useful for referencing, and then I forget all about them, and then 6 months later they've just kind of become obsolete and useless. This is how I live my life. It's how I do it. And it seems to work, so I tend to just run with it. Do we want this one? Where are we now? Oh, we're right in the middle of town. That's good. Yes, we do want this one. Oh, yeah, the compost master is right in front of me. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. So, yes, my Logitech... Oh, I've gone too far. Logitech Driving Force GT steering wheel. I can cycle between the machinery. There's two buttons just on... You've got sort of the round steering wheel, and then there's a bar that comes out from the very center out to the outside round bit. That's very poorly described. But on top of that, on the bar, you've got the D-pad, and then on the other side, you've got some buttons. And on the top of them, you've got two more buttons. One on one side, I've got that set to just switching on the top speed. You can see down there it's going green. That's just pressing the button and letting it go. The button on the other side is for flashing beacons. I couldn't tell you at the moment what button it is on the keyboard for flashing beacons. I've no idea. And then underneath there's two paddle buttons, which in racing games you would use for changing gears. Those I've got set to indicators. And that actually works really well for indicators. It's like perfect, because there's one each side, these little paddle buttons. And I really like that, and I like the way that it works out for me. We're going to go... What are we going to do today? I've done purple quite a lot. I think we're going to go for a deep red there, and in the rim colour, we're going to go for... Ooh, what do we go for? We're going to go for a pale blue. There we go. 9,100 euros. Back out here, and it should be... Its fuel is right there, so I should be able to fill it up. I quite like that colour. And yeah, maybe a slightly brighter red next time. I don't know. We'll see. So that's the indicators I got set up on it, and then I've got there's two big buttons sort of near the middle of the steering wheel, and one of those I've got mapped to that one there. There's four buttons off to one side. There's a square, a triangle, a circle, and a cross. It's kind of GT is PlayStation, isn't it? I think the GT ones are owned by PlayStation, so it'd be the same as PlayStation. Like, you got the PlayStation controller built in, and that would actually make a lot of sense, that it's the PlayStation controller built in. Bring that back round there, and I think I can refill. There we go. Did I automatically switch my vehicle off when I started refilling? I think I did. Okay, that's quite cool. So yeah, the PlayStation controller, the square for the PlayStation control bit, that's set to my hitch, so I can hitch and unhitch using the steering wheel. The X at the bottom is force unload, for like when you're tipping in the silage clamp and stuff. And then the triangle at the top, that's just regular unload. So anywhere that uses a regular unload icon is that one, and then you've got the force unload at the bottom. And then you've got the circle on the other side, and I think I've got that set to setting the hired help go in the field. But don't quote me on that. I can't actually remember. I hardly ever touch that button. And yeah, the two bigger buttons in the middle. One of them is for, it's replaced the Y button. So when you're unloading your baler, or there's quite a number of different things, like changing your crop, and most importantly, with like when you're round baling, you press Y to unload the baler and then close it again, and that's why I mapped it onto there, because to press Y to unload and then map it again. Right, press R to unload into there. So yeah, I've got that one set so that when I'm doing round baling, I've got the button there and I don't have to keep reaching to the keyboard to find the button. It's really, really annoying. Walking around, I am using the keyboard. It's at a comfortable angle, so it's not sort of overstretching me or anything. And then I do use the keyboard for raising and lowering of implements. For V, I use the keyboard for that, and also B for starting and stopping implements. I also use the keyboard for that. I'm not quite sure why. It's just, it seems to be more comfortable to do it like that. The Z for this new grab. As I want to use the grab quite a bit, I'm probably going to map that in on something fairly soon, so that I don't have to keep reaching over to the keyboard to press Z. Because when you're using a other vehicle... Now, do I need to do anything with this one, or does it just automatically start? We've got 3,700 litres. It's 749. Although it does sometimes go... it loses a litre here and there. Right, now... oh, no. It started up automatically. How much? Use 25 litres of fuel and 250 litres of compost. So 250 litres of the base material here has gone in, and 25 litres of fuel. So the fuel will last for a long time. Does seem to be reasonably economical on fuel. It's the other bits that are going to take a bit longer. This here, well, a bit longer. It's going to go through a bit faster. And so it's working 250 litres at the moment, and then it comes out this end. Now, does it make a pile on the ground, or does it hold it in there? That's the big question. Does it automatically store the stuff in here, or does it actually dump it in a heap? I'm hoping it stores it inside the compost master rather than dumping it on the ground, because then you haven't got to double handle it. Load up anything. You can literally just go along and park under the spout and it will unload for you, which I think would be a lot better. It'd be a lot easier. But the compost master is working. That's the important thing. That's all we wanted really to get going. So let's go back over. So this one here, look, if I use my mouse quite a bit, especially if I'm doing loader work, just to move the angle around a little bit. And the mouse and the joystick I use the same hand, and then I've got my steering wheel with my other hand. Now, my keyboard is accessible only with my left hand, which means I have to release the steering wheel or stop moving one of these and hold onto the steering wheel and then move over, and then I can press the Z button in order to unload. And that's becoming a bit of a nuisance. So I'm going to be remapping my steering wheel ever so slightly, and there's a couple of other bits that I might actually change while I'm at it, in order to make this just a little bit more intuitive and a little bit easier to use. The great thing about the steering wheels in this game is you can map them to anything you want. It sometimes does take a little bit of trial and error, But overall, it's really, really cool because you can literally just map in anything you want to any point. I tell you what, I do want to actually put some more bales of hay in for the cows because the silage isn't going to quite be ready yet, so we're going to need a little bit more first. So if I bring that one in there. Now, I brought down the bales of silage. No, I didn't. I brought down these bales, didn't I? And then I got rid of the trailer. But I could do with having that trailer again, to be honest. Now, that one, if I move that one over to the side, like that, this is still going to be in the way, regardless of how I do it, because this is going to be on the wrong side. So there, I can put that on there, and I can easily reach the button that I want to use, like that. And that was really, really simple. But with having to press the Y button, press the Z button to unload, that's not so simple. That's a little bit more difficult for me. Right, I'll bring that one over to there, like that. And then I'm going to bring that one up so I can just press the Y button again. There. Just tap the button that I got on my steering wheel. There we go. So you will see my desk. I will show you my desk. It'll be a little short video of seeing my desk and so on. When I do my face reveal video, and for those of you who don't know yet, there will be a face reveal video. I've been asked to do a face reveal video over and over. Loads of people want me to do it, and it will happen when I reach 100,000 subscribers. I've said this right from the start. I will not do this until I reach 100,000 subscribers. When I reach that magical number, I will do a face reveal video. I'm quite happy to do a face reveal video. Sort of, well, I'm not really going to do a great deal for it. It's not going to be anything particularly special. I'm just going to sort of say, hey, this is me. This is what I look like. Not quite George Clooney, but not far off. And then picture George Clooney, quite a bit rounder, and you know, with ginger hair. Yeah, I'm definitely more substantial than George Clooney, and I have ginger hair. So yeah, I mean, other than that, we could be twins. We really could. Just ask my wife; she'd probably tell you in between laughter. I've no doubt. Anyway, 100,000 subscribers. So if you want to get there quicker, then tell more people about me. That's all you need to do. Just keep telling people about. I know that a lot of you are. You're telling your friends about me, which is great. This is what we want. And what was I going to do next? There's another job that I want to do. That was actually gathering those bales, wasn't it? We were going to try running up to the field. So I'm going to leave these here. If I unstrap these a minute, start this bad boy up a second, and we'll load that onto the trailer and then stop loading, and then I'll put that one over that side and dump those there. Then I'm going to come out of this shed. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to back into the other shed, although I don't think that when you're backing up it works particularly well with these trailers. We'll see. Because I want to get there's bales under the floor in there, and that's not particularly great. We don't want them under the floor, although I don't know if the script for this will actually work picking up bales under the floor. This one does have a much bigger collection area. For the auto-load script, is a much bigger collection area than the UAL trailer that I also like to use, the one that I was using in the last episode. And, oh no, I'm just picking the ones up off the side. It doesn't seem to be picking the ones up off the floor here, which is a bit of a shame. Well, we've loaded them all up here. So what I'll do is I'll just drive forward. Yeah, the bales are still on the floor there. They haven't been picked up by the UAL script. I think it's because it's under... It might be because it was under the trailer. So if I go beside it, maybe it'll pick them up. Yeah, that's a possibility. Didn't think of that. Right, tell you what, I'll back this one all the way up here and I'll unload them off to the side. If I go out that side and unload there, and then I come forward like this, and then I'll back this trailer into this. I'm gonna press X so it's started to load already. I'm gonna bring it in this way. That might be to the side enough to get it to load. It's probably not going to be because they're below the ground. I don't think it's going to pick them up. No. It's picking up bales elsewhere, but it's not picking up these that are stuck in the ground below us. It's decided not to recognize those for some strange reason. Well, looks like we've lost our bales forever and ever, and we're never getting them back. So let's just dump that one there. Like that. That moved. It's moving. I'm not doing that. That's nothing to do with me. That's the bales underneath and moving around a bit. That's kind of freaky, that is. That is very, very freaky. I'm gonna leave now. We've got haunted bales in our bale shed. That's definitely that's definitely one of the more unusual things that I've seen. Now we're gonna go racing back up to that field, and we're gonna see if we can not get stuck. See that tree there? I'd have to remove that tree. Definitely have to remove that tree. I was talking to somebody about this, and they were saying, rather than spending the first couple of episodes removing a whole load of different things on this map before I started, probably be better with this particular map if I went into Giant's editor first and just deleted all the trees that I thought were in the way. And you're absolutely right. With this map, I would need to do that. For a time lapse, many of you know I hate having trees near the roads. It's because I got to keep moving the camera around like this, and when you speed something up by about 25 times, because that's roughly, you know, it's difficult to say exactly how much it gets sped up, but it's sort of between 20 and 25 times faster that the overall video ends up. So when you speed something up that much, you got to take this into account the whole time when you're recording. You got to be very conscious of the fact that it's going to be sped up by 25 times. And when you first start, you know, you're moving around like this, and this is all right. I mean, it's probably making you a little bit queasy right now watching this just on regular speed. Imagine this on really, you know, 25 times faster, and you're going to get some serious motion sickness going on with that. Now, let's load that one there and put it like that. That slowed the tractor down a bit, just a little smidgen. We'll drag these back down to the yard down there, and then that's done. So we've got hay in for the cows. We've got the silage back to the yard. We've got water in for the cows now. They've got some grass, and we're going to be waiting on that crop there to ripen. So in our next episode, I think we will fast forward time so that we can get the harvest done, and then there should be a reasonable amount of compost that we can start getting out onto the fields. At least that's what I'm hoping. We may, before we fast forward time, go and get a few more bales and drag them back. I'm just going to leave these here on this trailer just like this. Word of advice for anybody using these types of auto-load trailers, I wouldn't recommend leaving them with the auto-load on. Now, an auto-load log trailer is different, right? It takes the log and it places it above the trailer and drops it, so it still stays as an entity on the map. Nothing else changes. Whereas these trailers here, when you auto-load them, they remove the bale from the map and they add it to the trailer as a visual, and basically just adds it to the trailer as a script. But the bale has been removed from the map. So if you put the bales on there with auto-load, and then you go and sell the bales, as far as I know, you sell the trailer, sorry, the bales will all disappear as well. You got if I went and sold the trailer now, the bales would just be in a heap on the ground. So yeah, loading the game or unloading the game and then, you know, reloading, saving the game and exiting with them on auto load, you can sometimes have issues with it. Not every time. You'd probably be lucky. You'd probably be fine most of the time. But occasionally there can be some issues with it where it doesn't actually work and you get some problems. These bales down here, it's really bugging me that these bales are under the map and I can't get to them. That auto load didn't work. Maybe the auto load on the other trailer would work. I did grab them with that one, but I couldn't lift them through the floor because there was a collision on the floor. So that didn't work either. But the other trailer, because we were able to, with the other trailer, drop them through the floor, and it placed them below the level of the floor, didn't it? We drove in and it placed them partly below the level of the floor, which is why they dropped down there in the first place. That one might actually pick them up from below the floor, whereas this one here, it places them slightly above the floor and then drops them. It's just slightly different positioning on the script, that's all. This is nothing major, it's just enough to make it just a teensy little bit of a difference. We'll see. Anyway, that is all we got time for today. And sorry I spent most of it talking about my steering wheel. I just kind of got a bit sidetracked there. Like, yeah. I know. It shocked me as well. I've never gotten sidetracked before, have I? It's never happened. Okay, maybe just a couple of times. But anyway, if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. I'm just going to run in here and we'll see if how much more has happened. What's going on with it? 35 to 50. Right, so we're on our third lot. Oh yeah, 750. We're on a third lot here. Fuel is very economical on this thing. So we could put, if we filled this thing right up with fuel, we'd be able to process a huge amount of material and waste and stuff. I reckon if we had a load of straw and we dumped it in here, like loads of straw from our straw harvest that we're going to do, we could like stack up a load of bales and just keep piling them in. Maybe even stack them up quite high. There is no heap down here. It looks like it does indeed store it in there. And overall, this one will store 100,000 litres. I know that because it says so up on there. But if I go back up round to the top a minute. Here we go. There. Overall, it's 100,000 litres of compost that we can store here. Which is quite handy. 100,000 litres is pretty good. And then, obviously, you could fill it up with another 50,000. So, overall, I like the Compost Master. I'm hoping there's going to be something like this in the base game for FS19, but I'm not sure. Everything's going to be different in that game. Who knows what we're going to get? We'll have to see. Anyway, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.